So, I just watched the first episode of Star Wars The Acolyte, and against my better judgment, I'm going to leap headfirst into the fray on this one. So, please be kind, you know I'm quite thin-skinned. Uh, now, I also only watched the first episode, so my opinions could change quite dramatically as the story goes on, but I was actually not unhappy with it. It might not come as a surprise to you to learn that I'm a huge nerd, but Star Wars has been something that has really been hit or miss for me for basically all my life. From A New Hope on, I've noticed and been disappointed by various plot holes and weird dialogue, and that might not change. To me, George Lucas was really smart about creating cool characters and concepts. The Jedi, the Sith, the Force, and everyone from Count Dooku to Darth Vader to Mace Windu to Boba Fett. But George's follow-through on those characters and concepts, I could never really get behind. They've always seemed to fall flat, for me at least, and come across as somewhat silly. So Disney's stewardship of the franchise is sort of just carrying on a long tradition of, shall we say, not doing what I would have done with it. So I did not have high hopes for the Acolytes, but I'm pleased to say, judging by the first episode alone, mind you, I was very much surprised, and mostly in a good way. Uh, Spoilers ahead, but just for the first episode. So we're 100 years in the past, before the rise of the Galactic Empire, and the Sith are out in the shadows. They're hiding. We've got Darksiders sneaking around doing Darksidey things, and I have no doubt the Night Sisters are out there, probably around, but that's not important. So basically, the inciting incident is Carrie-Anne Moss, of all people, who's playing a Jedi, gets moitered by a knife-wielding assassin for seemingly no reason, and this girl Asha gets accused for it because someone saw her do the murder. The case closed, right? She's apparently a former Jedi who got ousted from the Order based on her obsession with her dead family. But Asha is young and positive and, for the most part, a decent seeming person as far as I can tell. And it does become clear that she did not do it. Who did? We'll get to that. Her old master is this guy Saul, who is just very cool, and he was really the first character who got me invested in the show. He gives me very strong Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon vibes, and the actor seems to be a genuinely nice guy, which is more than can be said for some of the other people who worked on the show. But Asha's locked in a prison transport, and her fellow prisoners, they hatch this daring escape, and they leave her to die as the ship it crashes on a planet called um, Karlak, I think it was, which I remember because I thought it was a fun name, maybe because of the hard K sound. I don't know. But during the escape, we see just how rusty in the Force this Asha is, and how she's definitely not the killer, right? But Saul is brought in to find her, and he's doing his Jedi thing, talking to the escaped prisoners and tracking down the ship that crashed. Meanwhile, Asha actually has a vision revealing that it, and hear me out here, it was her evil twin sister that did the murder, and that this evil twin survived the horrible fire that supposedly killed the entire family except for Asha, and now this sister is like a full-on Darksider. Uh, when Saul arrives, they actually discuss this, and they have a mostly civil and reasonable chat, which is nice. If nothing else, it's not going to be an idiot plot yet. Although they do basically they reenact that scene from The Fugitive with like the tunnel and the cliff and the whole "I didn't do it" thing, which is funny, especially because Han Solo was in The Fugitive. But I digress. That's basically where the episode ends, sort of, giving us a very brief look at the evil twin, May, I think her name is, and who I assume to be her master, this guy who looks like a cross between Darth Revan and Kylo Ren, and who doesn't really strike me as all that imposing, to be honest. It's interesting because the Acolyte is far from the greatest show ever. I won't lie, and it doesn't help that everyone's so angry about it. Like it's not just a very small minority of genuinely kind of crummy people. It's actually a lot of people. Some people I actually like are just so angry about this show. Even the cast and crew seem really mean-spirited in all of their interviews and very antagonistic. Except for the guy playing Soul, as I mentioned, who just seems like a really great guy. But I mean, I get it. Like when you've got a lot of hate coming your way, it's natural to lash out, and I understand. But still, it's not a good look for anyone, fans or the people working on the show. It, everyone's coming across looking bad, and they're all saying really weird things, like that don't make a lot of sense, and like it feels like people are just trying to stir up controversy for the sake of it. It's odd, and I've got nothing against them or anyone who likes or doesn't like the show, for that matter. You're entitled to your opinion one way or another. I kind of wish people would be a bit nicer about it, you know? Take a breath and, stop and smell the roses. I, for one, like the sets. I didn't think the special effects were too bad. And is it what I want from Star Wars personally? No. The fight scene with Carrie-Anne Moss just looked like The Matrix, which was unfortunate because that's not really the way I like Star Wars. I'm more a fan of the sort of samurai movie style fights where there's like a quick and efficient sort of standoff, uh, like the last duel between Kenobi and Maul in Star Wars Rebels. I really love that fight. The exception to that rule of mine happens to be the Duel of the Fates, also between Kenobi and Maul, and that's probably because Ray Park is just awesome and he knows how to fight really well. And it's clear that no one on this show is as good as Ray Park. Where was I? Uh, yeah, the Acolyte I actually feel a lot better about than, say, the Book of Boba Fett, for instance. Master Saul needs more screen time, and bargain basement Darth Revan needs to step up his game, I think. He's operating at like a fraction of the coolness of the freaking second sister, for God's sake. Remember the second sister? She was cool, I thought. Uh, but anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit the bell icon. Mind your manners in the comments. We're all just sort of trying to get by. So, yeah. Bye.